In this video, I'll give you specific trading strategies for the Relative Strength Index Indicator, or the RSI. Alright, before I give you the 3 RSI trading strategies, I just want to make something clear. 99% of the education that you get for free on the internet out there is just somebody telling you, hey, this strategy works and go trade it, basically, right? And there are only a few people who talk about actually testing it out and seeing if it works for you. So my intention with this video series is to, number one, in the first video, teach you how the RSI works, because it's important to understand how it's calculated and what it tells you. In this video, I'll give you some strategies that are commonly found on the internet. And in the last video, I'm going to show you my actual testing results and which strategies could be profitable and which ones probably aren't. All right, so I encourage you to go out and test it for yourself. Use something like Forex Tester. There's a link below for that. Or you can just use MetaTrader and move backwards and forwards with the arrows on your keyboard. And you can use an Excel sheet to track your trades. Whatever you choose to do, test it out. Don't take anyone's word for it that it works. Number one, we're going to do a vanilla RSI. So if we look at the chart up here, this just means that if price pops out of the 70 level, well, let's take a look at the settings first. Okay, so this is the vanilla RSI trading plan. So I'm going to call this the RSI Cross. If you want to get a worksheet, a PDF that you can download to track this stuff, it's really useful. You can track versions just using pieces of paper. It's actually easier that way, in my opinion, because you can write down notes, but do whatever works for you. You can just copy and paste this into a Word doc or Evernote or whatever you use. So the strategy name is RSI Cross. This is version 1. I'm going to be testing it on the Euro US dollar on the daily chart, risking 1% per trade. The stop loss is going to go on the other side of the last price swing, and I'll explain that in a minute on the chart. Then the profit target is going to be 1R, because that's a simple way of figuring out if the strategy has some basic profitability, right? If you use an arbitrary exit like the next support or resistance level, different traders will draw that level differently. So if you use 1R, it's a very objective way of exiting, and that makes it easy to compare data. So the next thing we're going to take a look at is the indicators used is the RSI that comes with pretty much every trading and charting platform out there. It's going to be the 14 period setting, and we're going to use the 70 and the 30 levels. The entry rules: simply look for the overbought or oversold condition when it pops above 70 or below 30. Then when RSI closes back inside of the channel, we open a trade, and then we target 1R like it's mentioned here, right? And then trade management rules: it's going to be one position at a time, no stacking, and it's set and forget. So it's either going to hit the profit target or it's going to hit the stop loss, and we don't mess with the we don't move anything. Okay, so now that you know what this entails, let's take a look at it on the chart. So basically, every time it pops out of the range and it comes back in here and it closes, so that, for example, this is where we would take the trade. It would be on this candle here, and you would take the trade right there and you would go short. Stop loss will go above the last swing, so the last swing is there. And let's take a look at the opposite. The opposite one would be here, so it closes inside here. Stop loss would go here, and that would be a really nice trade, even though we're only taking 1R. So that's how it goes. And if you don't know how to measure R, you can just use a simple tool like this. So if it closes here, that would be your entry point, and then your stop loss would go there, and then you're looking for this risk reward ratio, so you want that to be 1. So you'll bring that down until it hits 1 right there, and that's going to give you your entry, your stop loss, and your take profit levels. Okay, so let's look at the next trading strategy. All right, so another common trading strategy using the RSI is RSI Divergence. So I'm going to call this trading strategy the RSI Dive, This is version 2. I was actually testing something else before, and that's why this is version 2. But version 2, same thing. Daily time frame, Euro US dollar, 1% risk per trade. Stop on the other side of the last price swing. Profit target is 1R, same 14, 70, and 30 settings. For this one, we're going to look for overbought or oversold condition, right? And then we're going to look for divergence between that overbought or oversold and price. So you're looking for a divergence between RSI and price. I'll show you how that works in a minute. And then we also want to avoid heavy trends. So when price is trending heavily, we don't want to take this divergence trade because price can easily keep going, and if you take too many of these trades, you'll lose a lot of money. So I'll show you what a trending RSI divergence looks like, and that's what I'm going to try to avoid. Next, we're going to look for a good separation between the price peaks, and we open a trade when there's a strong candle in the direction of the RSI and the RSI hooks. I'll show you what that is. And then again, it's set and forget and trade one position at a time, no stacking. Okay, so let's take a look at the chart and what this looks like. So for example, let's take something here, see if we can find something. Okay, this is a good one. Even though this worked out, this is what I mean by not taking an RSI divergence in a trend. So this, you'll see that this low is much lower than this one, but the price is higher here, right? So this would be a divergence. So if we draw the trend line, it's like this, and then the other trend line is like this. So that's what divergence looks like. And even though this trade worked out, or would have worked out, that's not the type of price action we're looking for, because this could have easily continued going down, right? So that's what that looks like. So now let's take a look at a type of divergence that we would trade. Okay, this is perfect right here. So we're gonna draw this. Price is going up, but RSI is divergent, right? Like that, right? And RSI popped out of the channel, so this is now overbought, and you're looking for a drop. So once price hooks, which is this close here, you can see the hook form, right? And then that would be on this candle, so you would sell right here, stop would go above here, and you'd have a 1R profit target, just like before. Okay, so another common RSI trading strategy is the 50 crossover. And in this strategy, you're looking for a trend continuation. You're not looking to pick a top or bottom. You're basically looking for a continuation, and you're trying to pick out the majority of the move. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So this is the trading plan, similar thing. We're going to call this RSI 50. The rest of the things are the same. The rest of the settings are the same except for the indicators used. The settings on this indicator is just going to be the 50 level because we're only interested in that level. We're looking for a strong price trend. We're going to enter when price closes on the other side of the 50 RSI, and I'll show you how that looks in a minute. Then same thing with the trade management rules, one trade at a time, no stacking, and set and forget. So let's take a look at the chart and how that works. So we're going to adjust this setting. So we're going to take this out and we're going to set this to 50 and then 14. Okay, so now we have this dotted line in the middle, and that's the level that we're going to look at. So basically we're looking for a strong trend. So let's say we're looking for, so this is a strong trend, but the RSI already crossed up here, so that wouldn't be a valid signal. We would look for something more like, let's see, go back some more. Okay, so maybe something like this, right, where price is kind of basing and then it breaks out, it breaks above this, and you would probably take a trade right, or you would take a trade right here, and then price would keep on going. So of the three, this one doesn't seem like it'll work as well, but it's commonly taught on the internet, so I want to see how this works. and maybe it will take some tweaking. Maybe I'll need a version 2 or 3 to actually get it to work, or it may not work at all. But let's give it a try and see how it goes. All right, those are the 3 RSI trading strategies that I'm going to test. Again, feel free to test these for yourself. That's the only way that you can figure out if this is going to work for you or not, because it's not necessarily about the trading strategy, but if the trading strategy is a good fit for your personality. So stay tuned for the next video. I'll show you the actual back testing results I got from these trading plans. If you found this video useful, a thumbs up is greatly appreciated. Subscribe to my channel if you want to get more videos like this, and thanks for watching.